Hello, Acton residents. My name is Himogen Agaretti. I am your select board member for this term, and I will be presenting to you on Article 34, which is a home rule petition for lowering the minimum voting age in Acton for municipal elections and town meeting. Really excited to present this article to you. On a personal note, I myself am 25 years old, and as part of my job and other work, really work to advocate for the voices of young people in spaces of civic engagement, such as voting in local elections. And so really thrilled and excited to share this article with you and happy to answer any questions offline. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. All right. So as I mentioned, this is a home rule petition to lower the minimum voting age. The motion is as set forth. We move that or on the floor. Someone would move that the town authorize the select board to petition the Massachusetts General Court to enact legislation as outlined in the article, and further to authorize the select board to approve amendments to said legislation before its enactment by the General Court that are within the scope of the general objectives of this motion, or take any action relative thereto. So we'll dive more into the contents of this article, and really excited to present on that. So to break it down, this act, I should say, would grant the town the authority to lower the minimum voting age for any municipal election in town, and also the minimum voting age for town meetings in Acton 216. So any town resident who is 16 or 17 years old could apply to be on a town clerk to manage list of voters and may vote in elections for local office, local ballot questions, and town meetings. So that would be the scope that students or residents who were between the ages of 16 and 17 could vote in. And so local voters who are 16 or 17 would not have the right with this article to vote in any state or federal office or ballot questions. And so really want to make clear that this is to lower the voting age for municipal elections. Once 18, residents would then need to go through the standard registration process with the state and make sure that they were registered as voters in accordance with our state law. In terms of any additional things to keep in mind, the article also notes the town would be responsible for any additional costs with the printing of additional ballots and registration forms. So to provide a little bit of context of why we're bringing you this article for town meeting, we actually see in several towns across Massachusetts that they're taking steps to try to increase voter engagement and accessibility. And one of the ways has been through lowering the minimum voting age. So Concord, Boston, Brookline, Somerville, Cambridge, and Northampton have passed similar home rule petitions. Young people in our community contribute substantially, right? They contribute through their volunteerism. They contribute to their to the town's employment. They are such a huge fabric and part of what makes our town so special, but they do have so little decision-making capacity on issues that directly affect them. For example, many students turn 18 during their last year of high school, and many of them might go to college after, may seek employment after, and may not have the chance to live in Acton and be an active participatory voter in Acton elections. And this would essentially hopefully provide more avenues for students and younger residents in town to be able to vote in these elections. The people who show up to town meeting, the people who show up to town elections are few and far between, and that number has been decreasing, and I'll kind of get into those stats later on. And being able to expand the potential voter pool would be really important, because there are so many incredible young people who follow what's going on in town, who are super engaged with these issues. On the select board, I've had the opportunity to meet with so many incredible high school students that are just championing so much change and are so knowledgeable and driven with their expertise and what they can give to the town, that having them invited to be an active member of one of our most important democratic processes of this town is crucial. It's so important. And hopefully we can work on that. We also, I also wanted to note that engaging young voters establishes positive lifelong patterns of voting and increases the likelihood of parents voting. And this was a study done at Cambridge University. Just goes to show, and this is one of several examples in research that shows that engaging more young people in civic engagement and voting evidently, and per the research, does have rippling effects on increasing overall voter turnout, even within our 18 plus population. So also wanted to show the breakdown of engagement in annual town elections in Acton. As you can see, the number has been decreasing. It's been decreasing steeply for a number of reasons. If you look, I've only shown the past 5 years, but 2020 was when we were hit by pandemic. That definitely had an impact on our turnout for town elections. So definitely some caveats with the data, but we do see in general, a worrying trend of less and less and less voters showing up at the poll, especially with important local elections. And so thinking about ways that we can continue to engage residents who are passionate about voting and know what's happening in town, making sure we're reducing those types of institutional barriers is super, super crucial. And this article proposes one way of doing that. Again, the motion is to move that the town authorize the select board to petition the Massachusetts General Court to enact legislation as outlined in the article, and further to authorize the select board to approve amendments to said legislation before its enactment by the General Court that are within the scope of the general objectives of this motive, or take any action relative thereto. Lots of words, but wanted to provide that motion for you all. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.